Ruby is an object-oriented programming language, and it offers us the concept of classes to co-locate or bring together data structures and methods or functions that operate on these data structures, just like you're used to it from Java with the concept of classes. And to introduce this concept of classes, we work with an example that closes a business opportunity that was missed in the times of Middle-earth. We will introduce blogging capabilities for Gandalf, Bilbo, and Gollum. And to that end, we introduce three application concepts: the author, an entry, and the blog. Now, an author is defined by its name, which we'll capture in a string, and the location at which the author currently is, which we'll also capture as a string. An entry is defined by who wrote the entry, the author, so this will be an instance of the author class. And three more strings, namely the headline of the blog entry, the body text of the blog entry, and the date at which it was created. The blog itself is then a collection of entry objects or entry instances. Now, what we've described so far is basically the major application concepts and the data structures they encapsulate. And we will be using classes to encapsulate these data structures. And now let's talk about the behavior or the operations we want to perform on these data structures. And the classical key operations are how to create objects of a particular class or data instances within the instances of a class, how to read the objects, how to access objects and read their attributes, how to update objects and their attributes, and how to delete them. Now we will focus on creating, reading, and updating because deleting will happen behind the scenes using Ruby's garbage collection. So for the author class, we will literally focus on creating, reading, and updating. And when we get to the entry class, we will add behaviors to determine for a given instance of an entry class what the length of the headline and the body text of this entry is. So this will be a method that we will add to the entry class. We will also add a method to the entry class that will tell us the number of all entries ever created. So this is something associated with the class itself, not with each instance of the class. And when we get to the blog class, we will introduce the create, read, and update behaviors using a set of operators for appending entries to the blog, for looking up entries within the blog, and for updating them in the blog. So while the example is simple, we will be able to see all of the aspects we want to touch in the context of classes with this simple example consisting only of the author, the entry, and the blog class.